Hello friends, welcome to our channel. I am Ashanna, Director of Sadhana Study Circle. I have been teaching mathematics last 26 years. Friends, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get my latest updates, and also share it to your friends to help them and encourage for me to make more interesting videos. Friends, in this video, I would like to teach you a ratio. In this ratio, we are going to learn what is a ratio, antecedent and consequent, writing a ratio in different forms, facts about ratio, simplest form of ratio or lowest terms of ratio, equivalent ratio, division a quantity in given ratio. Let us learn one by one. First, ratio. What is a ratio? Let us discuss. In our daily life, we compare quantities in different ways. In the market, which vegetables look fresh, which are expensive, which are reasonably priced, etc. One quantity is how much more than the other quantity, or how much less than the other quantity is comparison by subtraction, and one quantity is how many times more than the other quantity, or how many times less than the other quantity is comparison by division. In certain situations, comparison by division makes sense than comparison by subtraction. The comparison of quantities by division is called ratio. We use the symbol is to represent ratio. Let us discuss more about ratio in the following figures. To understand ratio, here we have two examples. First example, in this two figures, here is a peacock, here is a duck. The length of the peacock is 30 centimeters. Length of the duck is 10 centimeters. If we subtracted these lengths, 30 centimeters minus 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters will get. The difference of these lengths is a not good sense, but we can observe here division 30 by 10, 30 divided by 10, 10 3s are 30, 0, 3, 30 centimeters minus 10 divided by 10 centimeters is equal to 3. So it give a good sense. A duck is 1/3 of peacock, or peacock is 3 times of duck, or thrice the duck. So it is giving a good sense. So this is a ratio. Next, in second example, here height of one man is 20 centimeters and height of a woman is 10 centimeters. The difference of heights is 20 minus 10 is equal to 10 centimeters. and division 20 divided by 10, 20 centimeters divided by 10 centimeters is equal 10 twos are 20. So 2. In this, the difference we got 10. In this subtraction we got 10 as difference. In this division we got 2. So in this also the division is giving good sense. Why? Because the man is 2 times of this woman, or woman is half of the men. Let us observe one more figure. It is divided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. In these 8 equal parts, we are shading 2 parts. So ratio of shaded parts to the total parts ratio of shaded parts to the total parts is equal to shaded to total 8, and ratio of unshaded parts to total parts is equal to unshaded we have 6. So 6 is to 8, and ratio of shaded parts to unshaded parts is equal to shaded to unshaded 6. If we simplified this, we can get more sense. So here 2 is to 8, 2 ones, 2 fours. We can cancel as fractions. 1 is to 4. So unshaded parts are 1 by 4 of total parts, or total parts are 4 times of shaded parts. Next, unshaded parts 2 3s are 2 4s are 3 is to 4. Shaded parts to unshaded parts is equal to 2 1s are 2 3s are 1 is to 3. So shaded parts are 1 by 3 of unshaded parts, or unshaded parts are 3 times of shaded parts. This is the meaning in this figure. Antecedent and consequent. What is an antecedent and what is a consequent? The ratio of two quantities A and B ratio of two quantities A and B is A is to B. In this, A is called first term, is called first term or antecedent. A is called first term or antecedent. B is called second term or consequent. A is called antecedent, B is called consequent. We read it A is to B. A is to B is to. Writing a ratio A is to B in different forms. Here we have 4 forms. They are: first one, symbolical form. Symbolic form. A is to B. Symbolical form. Second one, fraction form. A by B. Verbal form. Verbal form. A is to B. A is to B. And also we can write it division form. A divided by B. Facts about ratio. What are facts about ratio? Fact 1, ratio has no units. Let us see an example. Ratio of 12 meters and 18 meters. 12 meters is to 18 meters. First we have to write like this, keeping a ratio symbol. Now we have to cancel the same units. Same units only can be compared. We can write in ratios. Now cancel the numbers taking the common factors. 2 table, 2 6 are, 2 9s are, again 3 2s are, 3 3s are. So final answer is 2 is to 3. So we understood ratio as no units. They are only numbers. It shows the relation between two quantities in terms of numbers only. Fact number 2, order of terms in a ratio is a very important. Order of terms in a ratio is a very important. To understand this, let us observe the Indian national flag. Our Indian national flag. The length of the Indian national flag is 3 feet and breadth is 2 feet. We can write the ratio of Indian national flag. The length and breadth. The length and breadth of Indian national flag Indian national flag is 3:2. The breadth and length of Indian national flag is 2:3. In this length and breadth 3:2. In this breadth and length 2:3. These are different ratios. So what we understood, order of terms is very important. 3:2 not is equal to 2:3. Ratio in simplest form or lowest terms. If the terms of ratio have no common factors except one, then the ratio is said to be in simplest form or in lowest terms. Let us observe some examples. Two is to 3, 5:9, 6:7. So these are in simplest form. Why these are in simplest form? These have no common factors. That's why these are in simplest form. Some more examples. 6:9, 5:15, 9:12. These are not in simplest form. These have common factors. 6 and 9 have factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, 6. Factors of 9 are 1, 3, 9. So these have 1 and 3 common factors. That's why these are not in simplest form. Taking these common factors, we can cancel and we can write in simplest form. 3 2s, 3 3s. 2:3 is in simplest form. So these also not in simplest form. These two have 5 as a common factor. 1 and 5 has common factors. These also 1 and 3 common factors for this 9 and 12. So that's why these are not in simplest form. Equivalent ratios. What are equivalent ratios? Two or more ratios representing same results are called equivalent ratios. Let us observe an example. 1:2, 3:6, 5:10 are equivalent ratios. To check those, we may multiply or divide both the antecedent and consequent with the same number. So let us check this. Here we can divide taking the common factor. 3 1s are 3 2s are 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. 1:2. 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10. So 1:2. In all the cases we got 1:2, 1:2. All 1:2 only. So these all are equivalent ratios. 1:2. Therefore 1:2 is equal to 3:6 is equal to 5:10. Division a quantity in a given ratio. Here division means distribution. Distribution a quantity in given ratio. To distribute a quantity in given ratio, we have to follow some steps. Step 1, first add the terms of ratio. Add the terms of ratio. Then first share is equal to first term by sum of terms. This is add means sum of terms. Sum of terms. That means sum of the terms. So this is the step 2. First share is equal to first term by sum of the terms. Into given quantity. So second share is equal to second term by sum of the quantities. Sorry, sum of the terms into quantity. To understand this, let us observe an example. Distribute 60 rupees in 5:7. What we have to do first? First we have to do sum of these terms. 5 plus 7, 12. Next, first share is equal to first term by sum of the terms into quantity. So what is the first term? First term is this 5. This is the first term. 5 by sum of the terms how much? 12. What is the quantity? 60 is the quantity. So 60. 12 ones are 12 fives are 5 5s are 25 rupees is the first share. Next, second share. Second term. So second term what? Second term is 7. 7 by sum of the terms 12. Quantity is 60. 12 ones are 12 fives are 7 fives are 35. So this is a second answer. This is first answer. We have distributed 60 rupees in the ratio 5:7. Then they got first candidate 25 rupees, second candidate 35 rupees. This is the distributing given ratio, given quantity in given ratio. Friends, I think you understood each and everything about ratio. If there is any doubt in this video, you may write in my comment box. I will clear your doubt. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed my channel, you immediately subscribe and share it to your friends to help them and encourage for me to make more interesting videos. Hello friends, welcome to our channel. I am Ashanna, Director of Sadhana Study Circle. I have been teaching mathematics last 6 years. Friends, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon, and also share it to your friends to help them and encourage for me to make more interesting videos. Friends, in this video, I would like to teach you proportion. In this proportion, we are going to learn what is a proportion and what is a unitary method. Let us learn one by one. First, proportion. What is a proportion? Equality of two ratios or equality of ratios is called proportion. Example, 1:2 is equal to 3:6. Therefore, these two fractions 1:2 and 3:6 are in proportion. Then we can write 1:2 is as 3:6. This is the symbol to represent proportion. We read as is as 1:2 is as 3:6 is as. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A, B, C, D are in proportion. If A is to B is equal to C is to B, then A, B, C, D are in proportion. Then we can write this A is to B is as C is to D. In this, A and D are called extremes. These last terms are called extremes. These middle terms are called means. So product of extremes is equal to product of means. AD is equal to BC. Unitary method. What is a unitary method? The method in which we first find the value of one unit and then the value of the required number of units is known as unitary method. Let us observe an example. If the cost of 12 pencils is 24 rupees, then find the cost of 10 pencils. To solve this problem, first we have to write these pencils. Cost in rupees 24. We have to find cost of 10 pencils. What is the cost of these 10 pencils? To find this 10 pencils is equal to, we have to divide this 24 by 12, multiply with this 10. So this is the method of finding unitary method. 24 divided by 12 into 10. 12 ones are 12 twos are 2 tens are 20 rupees for this 10 pencils. Therefore, cost of 10 pencils is equal to 20 rupees. Let us observe one more example. If the cost of 12 pence is 18 rupees, then find the cost of 24 pence. Pence 12, cost in rupees 18, find the cost of 24 pence. How much? So to solve this, we have to divide this 18 by 12 and multiply with 24. 18 by 12 into 24. 6 threes are 6 twos are 2 ones are 2 ones are 2 twos are 12 threes are 36. So 36 rupees is the cost of 24 pence. So cost of 24 pence is equal to 36 rupees. Friends, in this video, I would like to teach you ratio applications. In this ratio and applications, we are going to learn what is a rate, direct proportion, percentages, profit and loss, discount and simple interest. Let us learn one by one. First one, rate. Sometimes ratios appear as rates. To understand rates, here we have some examples. My father drives the vehicle with a speed of 60 km per hour. Second one, I bought apple at the rate of 120 rupees per kg. The cost of eggs is rupees 60 per dozen. In all these three sentences, we have the word per. The word per can be replaced with the symbol oblique or per. Using this symbol, we can be written as 60 kilometers per hour. I bought apple at the rate of rupees 120 per kg. We can write this as rupees 120 or 120 rupees per kg. The cost of eggs is 60 rupees per dozen. We can write it 60 rupees per dozen. Next, direct proportion. What is a direct proportion? If some increase in one quantity leads increase in other quantity, then the quantities are said to be in direct proportion. Let us see once again. If some increase in one quantity leads increase in other quantity, then the quantities are said to be in direct proportion. Or if some decrease in one quantity leads decrease in other quantity, then the quantities also said to be in direct proportion. Here is an example. If the number of things purchased increases, then the cost incurred also increases. If the number of things purchased decreases, then the cost incurred also decreases. Next, percentages. Ratios also appear in the form of percentages. Let us discuss now about percentages. The word cent means 100. The word percent means per 100 or for a 100 or per every 100. The symbol percentage used to represent percentages. What are percentages? The fractions having 100 as denominators are called percentages. Let us observe once again. The word cent means 100. The word percent means per 100 or per every 100 or for a 100. For a 100. The fractions 100 having denominators are called percentages. Fractions having 100 as denominators are called fractions having 100 as denominators are called percentages. One percent, and also we can write, can be written as 1 out of 100 or 1 by 100 or 0.01. This is a decimal form. This is a fractional form. This is a verbal form. Conversions. Common fraction to percentage. How to convert a common fraction or fraction into percentage? To convert a common fraction to percentage, we have to multiply the fraction with 100 and keep the symbol percentage, then simplify. Let us take a few examples to understand this. To convert a fraction to percentage, multiply with 100, keep the percentage sign, then simplify. This is the procedure. One by 4. It's a common fraction. One by 4 into 100. Multiply with 100 and keep the percentage sign. Then simplify. Simplify means if there are any common factors for numerator and denominator, then cancel with those taking common factors. 4 table or 2 table, 4 table, 4 ones are 4 25s are 4 2s are 8, 2 4 5s are 20. So 25 percentage. 25 percentage. 1 by 4 is equal to 25 percentage. One more example. 3 by 4. 3 by 4. 3 by 4 into 100. Keep the percentage sign. We have to multiply with 100 and keep the symbol percentage, then simplify. 4 ones, 4 25s. 25 threes are 75. 75 percentage. Mixed fraction to percentage. To convert to mixed fraction to percentage, first we have to convert a mixed fraction into improper fraction, then follow the procedure fraction to percentage. Let us consider the following example. 5 3 by 4. First we have to convert it into improper fraction. 4 5s are 20, 23 by 4. That is equal to 23 by 4 into, to convert a fraction, common fraction or fraction into percentage, first we have to multiply by 100 and keep the percentage sign, then simplify. 4 ones are 4 25s are 4 2s are 4 5s are 4 5s are 20. 25 23 25s are 25 3s are 75. 25 2s are 50 57. 575 percentage. Conversions, percentage to fraction. To convert a percentage into fraction, first we have to remove the percentage sign and divide it by 100 or multiply with it 1 by 100. Then simplify. This is the procedure. Let us consider the following examples. First 20%. First remove the percentage sign. Divide it by 100 or multiply with 1 by 100. Then simplify. This is the procedure. First 20% is equal to, first remove the percentage sign. We have to write 20 only. Divide it by 100. Then simplify. 0 0 gets cancelled. 2 ones 2 5s. 1 by 5. So this is the answer. Next 40 percentage. 40 by 100. Divide it by 100. Then simplify. 0 0 gets cancelled. 2 2s 2 5s. 2 by 5. This is the answer. Next, here we have a mixed fraction. To convert a mixed fraction into improper fraction, we have to follow like this: 4 6 24, 25 by 4 percentage. Now here we have a fraction, common fraction. Now we can follow that rules. 25 by 4. Here we have already 4. That's why we can divide it by 100. If we divide it by 100, we can write 100 as denominator, or multiply with 1 by 100. So multiply 1 by 100. Now simplify. 25 ones are 25 fours, 1 by 16. This is the answer. Conversions: decimal fraction to percentage. To convert a decimal fraction into percentage, first multiply with 100 and keep the percentage sign, then simplify. Let us observe the following examples. 12.34. What is the procedure? First multiply with 100 and keep the percentage sign. Keep the percentage sign. Next simplify. This is the procedure to convert a decimal fraction into percentage. 12.34. First multiply with 100 and keep the percentage sign. Now we have to simplify. While multiplying by 100, a decimal is multiplied with 100. We have to shift the decimal to the right by 2 places. So that's why point will come here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here decimal point, percentage sign. In this no decimal parts, that's why we can write simply this whole number only. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1234 percentage. This is the answer. Next 0.123. To multiply a decimal 0.123 into 100 percentage. To convert a decimal fraction to percentage, multiply with 100 and keep the percentage sign, then simplify. To multiply by 100, a decimal is multiplied by 100. Just to shift the decimal to the right by 2 places. 12.3 percentage. Next 0.1. 0.1 into 100 percentage. To multiply by 100, we have to shift the decimal point to the right by 2 places. If there are no sufficient places in a decimal part, we keep the zeros as many needed, then 6. 10 percentage. Conversions: percentage to decimal fraction. To convert a percentage into decimal fraction, first we have to remove the percentage sign and divide it by 100 or multiply it with 1 by 100 and then simplify. Let us consider the following examples. First, 75 percentage. First, remove the percentage sign. Remove percentage sign. Divide it by 100 or multiply with 1 by 100. Then simplify. This is the procedure. I remove the percentage sign and dividing with 100. To divide by 100, we have to shift the decimal point to the left by 2 places. A whole number has right extreme to place a decimal point. So here we have decimal point. Shift the decimal point to the left by 2 places. 0.75. This is the answer. Next, 40%. 40 by 100. A decimal number, a whole number has a decimal point on right place. So we have to shift to the decimal point to the left by 2 places to divide by 100. So 0.40, 0.40, that is equal to 0.4. Here we have a mixed fraction. First, we have to convert this mixed fraction into decimal fraction. 6 1 by 4 is equal to 6 to 5. 1 by 4, we know 1 by 4 as a quarter. So that's why 6.25. Write this percentage sign as it is. Now we have to follow the procedure. First, remove the percentage sign. 6 to 5. Divide it by 100. Then simplify. In this, to simplify, we are simply shifting the decimal point. To divide by 100, we have to shift the decimal point to the left by 2 places. If there are no sufficient places, keep the zeros and shift to the decimal point. Here no sufficient places. That's why we have to keep 1 0 and shift to the decimal point. 0.0625. To give prominence to this decimal point, we have to write 0 as a integral part. So this is the answer. 0.0625. 6 1 by 4 percentage is equal to 0.0625. Express one quantity as the percentage of the second quantity. To express one quantity as the percentage of the second quantity, first we have to divide the first quantity by the second quantity and multiply the quotient with the 100%. Here we have the procedure. Required percentage is equal to first quantity by second quantity into 100%. To To understand this, here we have an example. Express 36 out of 75 as percentage. Required percentage is equal to first quantity by second quantity into 100 percentage. This is the formula. Here first quantity is 36. 36 by second quantity 75 into 100 percentage. 25 fours, 25 threes, 3 ones, 3 twos, 3 ones. So that is equal to 12 fours are 48. 48 percentage. This is the required number. Finding the value of a given percentage of a quantity. To find the value of a given percentage of a quantity, first we have to convert the given percentage as a fraction and then multiply with the quantity. Let us observe one example. 20% of 40. How much? 20% of 40, how much? First, we have to convert this percentage as a fraction. 20 by 100. Then multiply with the quantity. Now, we have to simplify. 0, 0 gets cancelled. Again, one more 0, cancel. 2 4s are 8. So, this is the value. Finding increase percent or decrease percent. To understand this, here we have two formulas. Increase percent is equal to increase in value by original value into 100 percentage. Decrease percentage is equal to decrease in value by original value into 100 percentage. To understand these formulas, here we have two examples. Gold last year 2019 40,000. This year 2020 50,000. Here increased the cost of gold. So what is the increase percent? We can calculate. Increase percent is equal to increase in value. Increase in value by original value into 100 percentage. How much is increase in value? 40,000 to 50,000. So here 50 minus 40, 10,000 rupees increased. 10,000. 50,000 minus 40,000. So increased 10,000 rupees. So 10,000 by original value 40,000 into 100 percentage. 2 zeros, more 2 zeros, 2 twos, 2 fives, 5 by 2. 5 by 2 means 2 twos, 4, 1. 2.5 percentage increased percentage. Increase percentage is 2.5 percentage increased. Second example, interest in percentage. Last year banks gave approximately 8%. This year only 5%. Here the interests are decreased. How much percentage decrease? To calculate this, decrease percentage is equal to decrease in value by original value into 100%. How much decreased? 8 to 5. 8 minus 5, 3. So 3% decreased. 3 by 8, original value 8 only, into 100%. 4 twos, 4 25s, 3 25s are 75 by 2, 75 by 2, 2 3s are 6, 1, 2 7, 2 7s are 14, 1, 37.5% decreased. Here we have an important chart to remember. 1 by 1, fraction, percentage, decimal. First I will write percentage. 1 by 1 means 100 by 100. 100 by 100 means 100%. 1 by 2, 50%. 3 by 4, 75%. 1 by 4, 25%. 1 by 5, 20%. 2 by 5 is double of 1 by 5. Double means 1 by 5, 20%. Double of twice of 1 by 5, 40%. 1 by 8 is half of 1 by 4. Half 1 by 4, 25. Half of 25 is 12.5%. 1 by 10, 10%. 1 by 16, half of 1 by 8. Here we have half of 1 by 8 to 12.5%. Half of 12.5% is 6 1 by 4%. 1 by 20, 5%. 1 by 25, 4%. 1 by 40 is half of 1 by 20. 1 by 20 we have 5%. Half of 5%, 2.5%. 1 by 50, double, twice of 1 by 25. 1 by 25, 4%. So this half of 1 by 25, 2%. 1 by 100, 1%. Next to decimal. Decimal of 1 by 100, 100 by 100 or 100%. Shift the decimal to the right, left by 2 places. 100% is equal to 100 by 100. To convert a percentage into decimal fraction. First remove the percentage sign and divide it by 100, then simplify. Simplify means here we have to shift the decimal to the left by 2 places. 1.00, that is equal to 1. So 1.0 we have to show as a decimal like that. So 50% point 0.50, that is called 0.5. 75 0.75, 0.25, 0.20, that is called 0.2, 0.40, that is called 0.4, 12 and half percentage, 12.5 percentage, 0.125 percentage, 0.125 decimal, 0.125, 0.10, that is called 0.1. 6 1 by 4 percentage is equal to 6 1 by 4 percentage, 6.25 percentage. We have to shift to the decimal to the left by 2 places. That's why 0.0625. This is the decimal. 0.0625. 5%. Here we have to keep 0. 0.05, 0.05, 0.04. Here 0.2 and half, 2.25 percentage, 0.025, 0.025, 0.025, 2 percentage, 0.02, 0.02, 0.01. Profit and loss. Before learning profit and loss, we have to know what is a cost price and what is a selling price. First, what is a cost price? The price at which an article is purchased is called cost price. Cost price is abbreviated as CP. Next, what is a selling price? The price at which an article is sold is called selling price. Selling price is abbreviated as SP. Now, profit. If the cost price is less than the selling price, or if the selling price is greater than the cost price, then we get profit. And the profit is abbreviated as G. Profit is also called gain. So that's why profit or gain are abbreviated as P or L. If cost price is less than selling price, then we get profit. or if selling price is greater than cost price, then we get profit or gain. Then we can find profit is equal to SP minus CP. SP minus CP. To find the profit, we have to use this formula. Selling price minus cost price. If there is a cost price and profit, then we find SP. SP is equal to CP plus profit. If there is a selling price and profit, then we get a cost price. Cost price is equal to SP minus profit. And also we can find profit percentage. Profit percentage is equal to profit by cost price into 100%. These all about profit. Next, loss. What is a loss? If the cost price is greater than selling price, then we get a loss. Loss is abbreviated as L. If a cost price is greater than selling price, then we get a loss. Loss is equal to, loss L is equal to CP minus SP. If there is a selling price and loss, we can get a cost price. If there is a selling price and loss, we can get a cost price. CP is equal to SP plus loss. If there is a cost price and loss, then we get a selling price. SP is equal to CP minus loss, cost price minus loss. Using these formulas, we can get loss, cost price, selling price, and also we can find loss percent. Loss percent is equal to loss by cost price into 100%. To understand those formulas, here we have two examples. Example 1. Cost price in rupees 10, selling price also in rupees 12. Is there profit or loss? If there is profit, we have to find profit. If there is loss, we have to find loss percentage. Profit percent, loss percentage. And second, okay, first we can solve first question. First one, cost price 10 rupees, selling price 12 rupees. Here selling price is greater than cost price. So selling price is greater than cost price. So we can get profit. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Here we have selling price 12 rupees. 12 minus 10 is equal to 2 rupees. Profit is 2 rupees. We have found one answer. Profit. Here we have got profit 2 rupees profit. Next, if we get profit, we have to find profit percentage. Profit percentage is equal to profit by cost price into 100%. So here we have 2 rupees. Profit 2 by cost price is 10 rupees into 100%. 0 0 gets cancelled. 2 tens are 20 rupees. Sorry, 20%. This is profit percentage. 20% is profit. 20% is profit. Next, second problem. Cost price is 30 rupees. Selling price is 20 rupees. So here cost price is greater than selling price. So we can get a loss. Loss is equal to CP minus SP. Here CP is 30 rupees minus selling price is 20 rupees. 10 rupees loss. So this is first answer. Here we have to write 10 rupees loss. If there is loss, we have to find loss percentage also. Loss percentage is equal to loss by cost price into 100%. This is also formula. This is also formula. Loss 10 rupees, cost price 30 rupees into 100%. We have to write percentage sign also. 0 0 gets cancelled. 10 tens are 100. 100 by 3%. 3 3s are 9. 3 3s are 9. 33 1 by 3%. 33 1 by 3%. This is the loss percentage. Cost price is equal 25 rupees. Profit 20%. Find selling price. To find selling price, here we have formula. Selling price is equal to cost price into 100 plus profit percentage by 100. So this is the formula. Cost price 25 rupees. 100 plus profit percentage 20 by 100. 25 into 100 plus 20, 120 by 100. 0 0 gets cancelled. 5 5s are 5 2s, 2 1s, 2 6. 5 6 are 30 rupees. This is the selling price. Here is one more problem. Cost price 25 rupees. Loss 20%. Find selling price. So selling price is equal to, if given loss percentage, then selling price is equal to cost price into 100 minus loss percentage by 100. Cost price 25 rupees, 100 minus loss percentage 20 by 100. 25 into 80, 100 minus 20, 80 by 100. 0, 0 gets cancelled. 4 2s are, 2, 5 5s are, 5 2s, 2 1s, 2 4s. 5 4s are 20. 20 rupees selling price. Discount. What is a discount? Discount is a decreased percent of market price. Price reduction is called rebate or discount. It is calculated on market price. Let us observe an example. A cycle is marketed at 360 rupees and sold for 3,312 rupees. What is the discount and the discount percentage? First, what is the discount? Discount is equal to market price minus sale price or selling price. Sale price. Given market price 3,600 rupees minus selling price 3,312. $3,600 minus 3,312. 8 2 0. So 288 rupees. This is discount. This is the first answer. Next, what we have to find discount percentage. Discount percentage is calculated on market price only. So discount percentage is equal to discount by market price discount by market price into 100%. This is the formula. Discount we got 288 rupees. Market price is 3,600 into 100%. 2 zeros gets cancelled. 4 7s are 28. 4 2s are 4 9s are 36. 9 1s are 9 8s are 72. So 8% is discount percentage. Discount percentage is 8%. Simple interest. In this simple interest, first one, interest. What is an interest? When we need money and borrowed it from banks or individual institutions. For having used their money, we have to pay more than that we borrowed. This excess amount paid is called interest. Interest is denoted by the letter I. Interest depends on three factors, namely PTR, principal, time, rate of interest. Next, time. What is a time? The duration time from the date of borrowing to the date of repaying is called time, and time is denoted by the letter T. Time is generally expressed in years. If time is given in months or days, first we have to convert it into years, then use the formula. If given months, we have to divide it by 12 and use the formula. If given days, we have to divide it by 365 days, 365, then use the formula. Rate of interest. What is a rate of interest? The interest to be paid that is agreeable to the parties is called rate of interest, and it is denoted by the letter R. Rate of interest is generally expressed as a percent per annum. Amount. What is an amount? The sum to be paid to clear the debit is called amount. In other words, the sum of principal and interest is called amount. Amount is denoted by the letter A. Let us know formula to find interest. I is equal to, simple interest I is equal to PTR by 100, or I is equal to PNR by 100. This is the main formula. Here P is principal, T is time, R is rate of interest. Here N is number of years. N, time. This is main formula. From this main formula, we can find auxiliary formulas like this. I is equal to PTR by 100. PTR by 100 is equal to I. Just transposed LHS, RHS, RHS, LHS. From this, PTR is equal to the division quantity become into quantity while transposing from left to right. So PTR is equal to 100 into I, 100I. Now we can write from this P is equal to 100I by TR. This into quantity becomes division quantity TR. T is equal to 100I by PR. R is equal to 100I by PT. These three are auxiliary formulas. Let us know formula for amount. Amount A is equal to P plus I, principal plus interest. This is main formula. From this main formula we can write, just first we have to shift this equation like this, LHS, RHS. Now P is equal to A minus I, amount minus interest. Interest is equal to A minus P. These two are auxiliary formulas. And also here we have one more formula for amount. A is equal to P plus I. In place of I, we have to write PTR. PTR by 100. If we take in common in this P, here we have one only, 1 plus here T R by 100. So this is the formula for finding amount directly. P of 1 plus TR by 100. To understand formulas, we have to solve some problems. Here we have two problems. First one, principal 5,000 rupees, time 1 year, rate of interest 12%. Find interest. To find interest, we have formula I is equal to PTR by 100. I is equal to PTR by 100. So I is equal to principal 5,000 rupees, time 1 year, rate of interest 12% by 100. Two zeros gets cancelled. I is equal to 50 into 1 into 12. So 12 5s are 60. You have to write this 0. 600 rupees interest. 600 rupees is interest. Next, second problem. Principal 5,000, time 2 years, rate of interest 6%. Find amount. Amount A is equal to P plus I. So first we have to find interest. Interest I is equal to PTR by 100. 5,000 into 2 into 6 by 100. Two zeros gets cancelled. I is equal to 50 into 2 into 6. 6 2s are 12, 12 5s are 60, 1 0. So interest 600 but here we have to find amount. Amount A is equal to P plus I. Principal 5,000 plus 600. 5,600 rupees. This is the amount. And also we can use another formula also. Amount is equal to P of 1 plus TR by 100. Principal 5,000 1 plus 2 time 2 years, rate of interest 6 by 100. 5,000. Here we have to take 1 plus 2 6 are 12 by 100. 5,000 into LCM 100. 100 plus 12, 112. 2 zeros. 5 twos are 10. 5 ones are 5, 6. 5 ones are 5. Keep this 0 last. So in this also we got 5,600 rupees. Third problem, I is equal to 50 rupees, T is equal to 2 years, R is equal to 5%. Find P. To find P, we have auxiliary formula. P is equal to 100I by TR. In this formula, we have to substitute the values. Interest to 50 rupees, time 2 years, and rate of interest 5%. So now we have to simplify this problem. Two ones are 2 fives are 0, 2 0 0. 5 ones are 5 ones are 0. 5 ones are 5. 2 zeros. Principal 500 rupees. Next, second problem. Principal 850. Rate of interest 12%. Interest 510 rupees. Find T. T is equal to, we have auxiliary formula. T is equal to 100I by PR. 100 into interest is given 510 rupees. Principal 850. Rate of interest 12%. So 0 0 gets cancelled. 5 table, 5 twos, 5 zeros, 5 ones are 5 sevens are 35. 4 threes are 4 fives are 15 ones are 15 threes are 3 ones are 3 ones are. So 5 times 5 years. So T is equal to 5 years. Fifth problem, P is equal to 500 rupees, T is equal to 3 years, I is equal to 300. Find rate of interest. To find rate of interest, we have an auxiliary formula. R is equal to 100I by PT 100 into interest is given 300 rupees by principal 500 time 3 years. Now we have to simplify this. 2 zeros gets cancelled. 3 ones, 0, 0. 5 ones, 5 twos, 0. So 20 R is equal to 20%. Children, this is all about simple interest. I think you understood each and every concept about this simple interest. If there is any doubt, you may write in my comment box. I will clear you. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get my latest updates. And also share it to your friends to help them and encourage for me to make more interesting videos.